Good evening, everyone. I'm really honored to be amongst you here today. And I would like to say that I'm outraged, as much as you are, of the level of criminality, the level of massacres, the level of war crimes, the level of genocide that is taking place. Every day we hear of a different story. Every day we hear of a small or large massacre. And as we are here, our beloved brothers and sisters in Jabalia refugee camp are under siege for the 8th day. Under siege. Again, at the orders of the Afghan, the war criminal, when he said on the 8th of October 2023, and I was there in Khan Yunis at the time, we are going to treat them like human animals. Imagine we are going to cut food, electricity, fuel, and medicine openly in front of the world, and that's what he's been doing. I just heard last night that Muhammad, a woman from Jabalia, said with tears in her eyes, I collected my beloved son's two parts cut in half. That reminded me of an awful night in Khan Yunis on the 24th of December after midnight, early hours of 25th of December. My son Qasim was with me. When we were about to sleep, 20 past 10, when two F-16 missiles broke the sound barrier and hit two flats of my beloved cousins, Aziz and Hatim. And we had to collect Aziz, a beautiful pharmacist, highly respected all over the Gaza Strip. We had to collect his body from the east of the house and the other part of the south. And 3 days later, the hand of the daughter of Hatim was collected under the rubble. And those people were not belonging to any paramilitary group. And don't get me wrong, if they did, they have the right to resist the occupation. And we don't shy away from that, but they didn't. They died, 18 of them. And people say, random killing. No, it's deliberate killing. Because 36 hours after that, they bombed another house of my relatives, 3 beautiful brothers. Again, nothing to do with Hamas. But in fact, the head of Fatah movement in Khan Yunis. And when you hit and destroy the house and kill 12 people, including 8 children, of the Fatah head, in Khan Yunis, this is deliberate, because Fatah is the arch enemy of Hamas politically, as you all know. It was a deliberate, and it is deliberate attacks that is aimed at driving the Palestinians out, striking fear among the Palestinians. So it's not random at all. All these numbers of children are killed. It's not random, because they openly said it. The racist leaders of the Zionist entity, they openly said it. That these mothers are snakes. Those are the words of Ayla Shakib. She was the Minister of Justice. Imagine. 5-6 years ago. Palestinian mothers are snakes. Pregnant Palestinian mothers will give birth to little snakes, and we must kill them all because they grow up and attack us. Herzog, the president of Israel, after signing a bomb that is going to kill civilians in the Gaza Strip, he said, there are no civilians in the Gaza, they're all criminals, men, women, and children. Ami'ai Eliyahu, who was a member of the cabinet, said, we need to drop a nuclear bomb. I'm reminding myself, I know you must have heard these things, but we must remember this. Mordechai Kidar, a professor of Bar Ilan University in Haifa, and an advisor to the war criminal Netanyahu, said openly when he was asked, what do you think of you Afghans saying Palestinians are human animals? He said explicitly to the cameras, this is an insult to animals. These are the leaders we are dealing with. These are the leaders in power which we are dealing with. Group of criminals, group of racists, group of supremacists. And of course, their head Netanyahu. Why religion to the matter when we, the Palestinians, are always campaigning to say our issue is not with the Jews, our issue is with the Zionists. We have none whatsoever against the Jews. But why say I'm going to do what the Torah ordered me to kill them all only 2 weeks ago? Why? You know why? Because he wants it to be a religious war and to be seen in the West, the hypocritical West, the double standard West. We're talking about governments, not people. People are people all over the world and have all respect to all people, regardless. But he wants to be seen as if he's fighting so-called Islamophobia. So-called Islamic radicalism. And then he'll get all the support. So pushing for the religious war, which we are trying to avoid and say no. Because out of conviction, out of belief, out of principles, we really have nothing against the Jews. I don't say it to please people. We have everything against Zionism, everything against the Zionists, everything against Israel for what they're doing to our people. But we don't want religion to be ruling this war, but they're asking for religion, and the hypocrites of the Western governments are telling a blind eye. This leads me to another part of my speech, which is my outrage at the Western media, at the BBC, ITV, Sky, all of them. When are they going to wake up? How many thousands of Palestinian children, on top of 18,000, will be killed for them to say the truth? How many Palestinians will be disabled on top of the 15,000, including 2,200 Palestinians, for them to say the truth? I'm really sick and tired of this hypocrisy and double standard. They are racist, and all of them are colluding with Israel. Yesterday, 2 days ago, I was contacted by the BBC to appear this morning on TV with an Israeli to discuss the possibility of peace and future between people. And I was extremely offended. And I said to the man, nothing personal, but tell your bosses, they stink with trying to cover Israeli. When you are killing our children, when we are pulling our babies headless from under the rubble, when our infrastructure is destroyed, when our roads, when our hospitals, universities, schools are destroyed, when our people are killed in masses, you are asking me to come and talk peace and show the Israelis as people who want peace? I told them when the sword is off our neck, when the dagger is pulled off our flesh, then we will try to talk about peace. But now our aim is to expose these war crimes. And shame on you and your bosses. And he asked me if I can help him with somebody else. I said, no. I will compel with any Palestinian not to take part in your program. They want to cover for the Israeli war crimes. That's what they are. And they are really unbelievably biased in favor of the Israeli narrative, as they have been for 76 years. We are still shamefully fighting to tell people who is the victim, who is the executor. And that's thanks to the Western media, which showed the Palestinians always as the executors, rather than the victims who be victimized in every aspect of our lives, every single aspect of our lives. Karim Khan, the head of the International Justice Court, he exposed them when they issued, announcements and declarations that Israel may be accused of, maybe they have committed genocide in the Gaza Strip. He was called to Washington. And those are the words of Karim Khan, remember it. They told him, what are you playing at? We created the ICC and ICJ for Africa, for Latin America, openly. We didn't create it for us and our lives. To them, the tag price of human beings is different. We, outside their sphere of interest, economical interest, don't matter. For our color, of course, but outside our sphere, their economical sphere of interest, make no mistake, the Palestinian cause must be put back on the right track. It's not only for the Palestinians, it's for everybody who is seeking freedom and justice worldwide. Because the same forces which are oppressing us are oppressing the people of the Amazon, are oppressing the people of Latin America, Africa, and Asia. They are the same enemies. They are the same enemies. It's time now to move our movement from the protest to the next step up. We need to continue with our movement, but we need to think of ways of putting more pressure, because those politicians are corrupt, those politicians are colluding with Israel, and they will not listen. But the main time, if you fight racism, if you fight Islamophobia, you must fight Zionism as embodiment of all forms of racism. Of anti-Semitism, because they're nothing but a way of trying to cover for the Israeli genocide. They're nothing but a way to cover for the Israeli war crimes. And we know ourselves, we know we're not anti-Semitic. We never were. We never allowed anybody to be even having a shadow of a fraction of anti-Semitism, but yet they have no shame. Because if they can accuse Holocaust survivors, like my good friend Hayo Meir and like Professor Gabor Mate, who were rescued from Auschwitz, for goodness sake, of being anti-Semitic, then they will accuse us. So shrug these accusations, hold your head very high and say, I fight for justice, I fight for freedom, and I will continue to fight. There is no compromise with Zionism, there is no compromise with oppression, and Israel must be exposed for what it is, a criminal state which commits war crimes every day. Thank you very much.